Hello, super duper good morning to everybody. So nice to see so many familiar faces. Shreya Chauhan, see you in an hour. Manisha Chopra, God bless you, my sweetheart. Happy Diwali to every one of you. Enlighten us with this Diwali. Alright, today let's cover Diwali questions. So what could be issues that people have during Diwali? What shows up in your life? I'd love to clarify questions, especially that show up during festivals. I truly believe that in this world there are two kinds of people. One who get more and more happier with the festivals coming, and one who go more and more sad when the festivals show up. Saranya is like again cold. You know, I slept at 3 o'clock because there was something happening in my place and I didn't have a cold till 1 minute ago. It has just come, which means it will last for the next 10 minutes and then disappear on its own. And so first tell me in the chat box, which category of person are you? Are you the one who gets happier with festivals coming in? Or do festivals annoy you because you start getting upset on I wasn't invited here, this person had kept this party, or they didn't call me properly, or my husband's ignoring me, he has time for his whole family, only not for me. So I'd love to know which category firstly you belong to, because it's so important to identify. Because I remember a lot of times what I would do is, especially closer to not so much to festivals but my birthday, my expectations from my husband used to grow so much that I wanted that attention, I wanted the gifts, I wanted the importance, and if I didn't get it, it would actually make me sad on my birthday rather than happy. So I feel like a lot of people here tend to take things to heart. Because we're dealing with so much families tend to come together. There may be people in your family you don't like too much, and just being around them can be an energy drainer. So talk to me about that. Or are you the kind of person who says let it go? I really believe in the theme of letting it go during Diwali. The whole purpose of religion, keeping so many festivals, was to quickly forgive and move on. That I don't want to hold on to things for years. Ab Diwali aayi, ab chodo na wo jab jo hua. Ab let's start from afresh. Let's invite her. Doesn't matter. And growing your heart is such a huge part of I think festivals, and I think every religion keeps festivals because they want that happiness to go deep, and all of that kachra that gets accumulated, whether it is in your clutter in your house or clutter in your mind or clutter in your heart, all three clutters need to be released today. Okay, I guess if you're a part of my tribe, 90% of you here will be the happy category kind of people, but I'd love to take questions around anything that's currently upsetting you or you're feeling challenged with. Puja Mishra, ma'am, I have a 3-year-old son. अब husband बोल रहे हैं कि second baby के लिए मैं अब career पे focus करूँ या next baby का सोचूं, please advise. So Puja, I have a very clear take on this. I have myself chased respect and admiration from my own husband, because of which I became a career woman. But I'm a big believer that society has gone wrong in making a woman choose or make this decision. So it is not actually your fault. It is the fault of the society that we live in, where we have been giving respect to working women. We have been saying you should have your own financial income. You should be financially independent. First we say all of that. And then we wonder why women are choosing not to have children. Why should a woman choose to have a child if she's not going to get the respect? If you're going to be only a mother, only a housewife, just a housewife, nobody wants to be just a housewife, only a mother. Till the time we don't fix our culture into bringing back where the mother ka darja should be, I have a feeling that this will be a confusion for a lot of women. I'm a big believer that the biggest sacrifice a woman makes, and only she can make, is of becoming a mother. It is the most beautiful gift God has given us, and we've reduced it down to becoming masculine in our energy and saying, but I need respect and admiration because you know what, this man will make me have 2 children and then rule and control the rest of my life because I will be under his thumb. And I think that is so unfair. So one of the very frank conversations, Puja, I'd love for you to sit down with your husband and have is that if I am going to make these sacrifices tomorrow, I don't want you to turn around and say, तूने कमाया ही क्या है, तू है क्या चीज, तुझे पता ही क्या है. You know, being a mother takes everything you've got. You sacrifice your body, your hormones, your life. It is unconditional love to another level which a man can never even understand. So I think bringing back the woman to be a mother, bringing back that pedestal. Remember एक time होता था जब हम माँ को पूजते थे, वो अगर हम वापस नहीं लाए तो women like you are going to have to make these decisions. And I believe that for the next decade, this decision is going to be in the favor of the career woman, because men no longer are giving the respect to the woman for being the caretaker. Unless the caretaker role is put equal to the role of a man, the woman is going to choose to be one more man. So it's going to be two men in a house where money will become the most important thing rather than children or family or connection or all the things that we used to so beautifully value, that we've given up because the woman was told, you are nothing. You are more a liability than an asset. So that's a decision you have to make, Puja, regarding whether you should have or not. But I've explained to you where we've gone wrong. So you have to see what kind of a man do you have. If you have the kind of man who will only respect you if you're working, then it's better to have that one baby and go back to work. Because you know what, at the end of the day, it's better to have 3 with a lot of respect than to have 4 with no respect, right? But if you feel like, no, he's the kind of man who is happy to provide and protect for me, I should just be busy having his babies because he's lovely. And if he's lovely, then it's worth it, right? So you have to see the kind of setup you have, darling. Yeah? Life coach Shiva Ranjani. Hi Puja. I'm a mom of a 1-year-old. For the past 1 week, my kid has not been too well and my husband has not been too well. Mom was not too well and now I'm sick. So this Diwali, we won't be celebrating. So there is a lot of flu in the air. I myself was on antibiotics till day before. So Puneet was also not too well, and I feel like generally our immunity, because we are sleeping less or we are celebrating or our festivities, it just could be, or because of your baby falling sick, the whole house has gotten the bug. So it is possible that if you are not feeling too well, or if in your house there's some sort of this thing, my suggestion is celebrate to a smaller extent. You know, to the extent that you can celebrate. Don't leave out the celebration, because you know what? The sickness will pass. So when you actually are happy, your immunity is much, much higher. So I'm going to suggest to everybody, I've been sick all through, as you can see, but I'm not stopping, nothing in my life. But of course, it also depends on the level of sickness that you have. Mine is very controllable, manageable. If yours is not so manageable, my suggestion, rest it out 2-3 days and get back into celebration. Okay, darling? Chandrima, I so want to do your enlightenment course, but due to time constraints, not able to do March session. So sad. Chandrima, you know what I feel? Enlightenment is one of those courses where not only you choose it, it needs to choose you. It's a very deep, it's a very profound course where you go through literally life-changing transformation. And I feel like not everyone is ready. Sometimes, you know, God puts divine delay to kind of prepare you to receive it in the best form. So in case for any reason you're not being able to do the enlightenment course, वो कहते हैं ना कि भगवान का बुलावा आता है तभी तुम तिरुपति या कहीं भी अच्छे वाले temples जा सकते हो. I'm a big believer that you have to align yourself sometimes to your higher good for these kind of courses to come into your life, or to create space for these kind of courses. These are not just any course. It's a very, very sacred course. So if there is divine delay in your life, sweetheart, honor it. Say, you know what, let me prepare. I always say delay in our life is never God punishing us. It's always God preparing us. So look at what is the preparation you need in your life. What are the kind of things you may need to accomplish in your life, or align with in your life, embody in your life, for you to be able to make the most of a course as heavy as enlightenment. Okay, darling? So don't feel bad at all. Don't feel sad at all. Just get ready for it, because it's coming. अगर आपने ठान लिया है, अगर आपने मन में वो बोल दिया कि मुझे ये करना है, तो then it's only a matter of time, मेरी जान. Bhargavi, women today are in a state of whether to be masculine or feminine energy. Absolutely, Bhargavi. That is one of the biggest challenges women are facing. And I'm a big believer that while a woman should be fully capable of being financially independent, while a woman should be fully capable, a confident woman, I say you don't be a needy woman any longer, because needy women in the world are not being respected, and that's true, which means you're completely 100% dependent, uske bagair to kuch hoga hi nahi. That's not a person you want to be. But you know what, feminine energy, when it becomes totally masculine, one of the things that sets in is sadness and depression. Because then we are not in our energy, we are in the masculine energy, because the world respects masculine energy. So we start to chase numbers, we start to chase deadlines, we start to chase things to be respected. But unfortunately, what happens to us as women is that we are going against our own nature of flow, of spontaneity, of enjoying the sunrise, enjoying the flowers. We become like what a man is, right? And so the emotions we actually numb out for us to only use mind and not heart. And I think a woman who doesn't operate from her heart a lot more than her mind will tend to not remain too happy. She may become a high achiever, but happiness will be hard to feel or experience. You'll normally hear these women talk about less joy, numbing out, zombie-like state. So I am a big believer that balancing the two is a very important part of, in today's world, of a high achieving woman. I'm a big believer of being a high achieving woman in today's world, because the world does not respect a low achieving woman. Yet having said that, I try my best to keep my feminine energy as alive as possible, whether it is in my clothes, in my jewelry, in my looks, in my admiring the sunrise, getting connected to nature, keeping my spontaneous holidays on, being childish, kiddish and giggly with Puneet. All of these are signs of the feminine being alive. Feminine has a childlike quality that we give up when we start to turn very harsh in our, you will see a woman a lot out of balance. When she goes too masculine, she'll become aggressive. Her tonality will become very nasty. And you want to be very observant of your tonality, of your anger. Because see, when we're not in alignment, these are the things that are actually symptoms of unalignment in our body, right? So, big believer of that. While I want each one of you here to look at how you're going to grow yourself into becoming a high net worth woman, I also want you to have a group of girlfriends. I want you to have a deep connection with a couple of people in your life, so deep that you never feel lonely again, because loneliness is one of the biggest symptoms of becoming too masculine. Masculine operates in alpha. Alpha is the single male. Feminine thrives in community. She doesn't want to survive, she wants to thrive. And you'll see women will come together to make any kind of groups. Mothers group, kitty party groups, wives group, some charity group. Like you will see women tend to come together to flourish. And I think that's a huge part of being a woman. And the more we as women are going masculine, the more isolated we are making ourselves. Now, I have no idea why I've gone so deep into this conversation, but you can understand what I'm saying, right, my sweetheart? Tarot by Cosmos. Hi, ma'am. How to overcome habits of people pleasing, especially during festivals and getting together? You know what? I think it's very important that we learn to love ourselves, and the deeper we love ourselves, the more our ability to love others out of the love that we have for ourselves, rather than wanting acknowledgement and approval and permission and importance from others. So I always say this, selfish to be selfless, learning to take before you give. And when you have that little amount of guilt inside of you for having done something for yourself, that guilt should be used to give to others. So let's say I've gone out the whole night and partied and my children got ignored. My children live in London. There's no chance of them getting ignored right now. But anyway, I'm just giving an example. And the next day, what will I do? I'll say, you know what, sweethearts, I know Diwali, I've been really busy with all of my engagements. Let me take you all to the beach, okay? So then maybe for a 2 hour, I'll take them to the beach or to the zoo or to Domino's or to any, I'm not promoting fast food in any way, but you know what I mean, right? So That's where, so you start to work and operate a little bit out of guilt. Now, there are two kinds of women. One who operates out of bitterness, which means she keeps saying yes to others, keeps feeling upset about saying yes to others, and then but keeps doing also. That's not who you want to be. Okay, so you have to see, are you saying yes, more yes to others and becoming bitter, which means you're not saying enough yeses to yourself? Or are you saying enough no's to others that you carry a little bit of guilt, and that guilt makes you say yes on things that you can do? I can't come at 3 o'clock, but you know what, by 5 o'clock I'll drop in. I won't be able today to make the whole lunch, but you know what, I can bring 2 dishes. So when you have that little bit of guilt, actually that's beautiful, isn't it? So we think guilt is a bad thing. I'm a big believer guilt is one of the best things if you don't turn it into regret and you turn it into actionable giving, you know. So see how you can use this, my darling. Vasanti, what is the secret of your energy? How will you get so much energy so enthusiastically to speak for hours together? Vasanti, my secret is that I absolutely love helping others. Honestly speaking, there was a time in my life where I have been on the other side, where I have attended all of these Insta lives seeking answers for myself. What is the right thing to do? Am I right? Is Puneet right? Is this joint family right? Am I supposed to do it like this? Am I being too selfish here? Should I be giving more? Should I be giving less? Should I be setting boundaries? Should I not be setting boundaries? Does it look bad to set boundaries with people you love most? So I feel like I've gone through the whole gamut of the experiences that, you know, each one of us here is having. And one of the promises I believe I made to God at some point in my journey was that, Godji, if I find the answers, if I become happy at some point in my life, I'm going to help other women become happy. And I feel like that source became, my energy source comes from this thing that Godji's been so kind to me. He has allowed me to explore these answers across the world. I have traveled to over a dozen countries, attended course after course after course, looking for insights and valuable perspectives to be able to transform my lives and help others. And today, I know I'm sitting with solutions where literally I can speak to someone for 30 minutes and clear out maybe somebody's years of limiting beliefs or doubts or anger issue or depression or something. With that kind of, abilities, I cannot now any longer sit with myself and say I don't have the energy. And I can tell you this, you know what, every happy face that sends me even a message of like, thank you Puja, your one line changed the way I'm thinking or something like that, that gives me energy. That becomes my source of, I always say, I don't need no food. I love food, I'm a big foodie, but I don't need any food or anything apart from the ability to be able to help. And helping has this energy built in, because it just feels like there's a good karma to it, which is why I help so many women turn coaches. And I always say, when you go through the enlightenment course, there's a part of you that will want to start to desire to share that information, because when you're loaded with so much insight that you know that you can help the world just through conversation, how are you going to sit by yourself and say, no, I don't want to help the world, I only want to help myself? Hota hi nahi hai. Because you know what, there's a time that comes where your cup goes into overflow. पहले अपने लिए लो, पहले अपने पे सारा कुछ यूज करो जो सीख रहे हो. Whatever you are learning, use it on yourself. But as your life starts to improve, as your vibration and your frequency starts to go up, as your energy starts to become the energy of the source power, or like I say, goddess in the sky, and you get connected. It's like you recharge every day, like how you recharge your phone. There's a goddess in the sky that's energy is now passing through you to other goddesses. That becomes... So whenever somebody asks me for energy, I think when you're doing something you absolutely love, you get an energy from a place which we don't really till now understand. Vidyati Rashmi, I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right. How to make decisions from the mind rather than heart? I don't know, Vidya. I'm a big believer of that we have to take decisions in a combination. So we should use our intelligence to look at all our options and our heart to make the decision. So options, the ability to look at what are my options itself needs a lot of mind and intelligence, right? And that's what we should do. Who should I marry? Let's say that I'm taking an example. I have an option where the boy is super educated and looks really good. I have an option where I can be in the city that I absolutely love and I won't have to move out. And I have an option of marrying someone who's already familiar to me. It's not a new or a stranger. Which one should I choose? You know? So options are given from your intellect. But decision, sometimes what happens is, you know, this is a better guy in the overall scheme of things, but chemistry wise you just feel more attracted to someone and you feel like, no, but as a person, this person's vibe is just so comforting. I don't know why, but this is the one I want to be with, you know. And I'm a big believer to follow my heart. So also, when the more aligned you are to your divine feminine, the more you can trust your heart. The more in alignment you are to your masculine energy, the more you can trust your mind. When you can have both in balance, that's when you move into, so feminine, masculine, balance of both divine, right? So then you can actually operate from, if it was just an intelligent decision, this is the one I would take. But something about this person is not making me trust them. I know the offer is really good, but I'm just not feeling like I can trust them. Something in my gut is stopping me. Fabulous. Listen to it, because I always say women have such a strong intuition. You won't know why, but you'll know something. So I think starting, and the more you take decisions of trust over time, of your gut, of your intuition, of your ability to, take decisions from the heart, the more, they say there is a whole brain in the heart, that, you know, people who have heart transplants, actually the whole personality of the person goes into that person. So we shouldn't underestimate or think that, you know what, that our heart decisions are not our right decisions. I'm a big believer that if you're in alignment, actually your heart decisions will always guide you right. But you have to little bit nurture your ability to make right decisions from the heart. Not everybody can do it, because if you haven't listened to yourself, which our society doesn't let us, if from a very young age you've had controlling parents or controlling environment and you haven't been able to make that connection with the, you know, super consciousness or, you know, cosmic intelligence or whatever you want to call it, that higher power, whatever your name is for Godji. But, you know, if you don't have that connection, then your heart decisions can go wrong, because you're yet not in complete alignment. I literally will think of something, sit down, close my eyes for 3 minutes and say, God, just guide me. And I don't need to do anything else. I will open my eyes. I will know exactly what I need to do. And I want you to know, every woman in this room right now is capable of doing that. All right, looking for questions. Barkha, hi Puja, looking beautiful as always. Thank you. Happy Diwali. Lata, this Diwali I'm launching some good stuff after your sessions. Lots of love. Oh, that is so sweet. God bless you. Kavita, you just convinced me to have another baby. The decision is always yours. My job is only to give you the whole scenario. But for those people, you know what, I really hope that someday when women belong to my tribe, someday, right now is not the right time. It's going to take me at least another decade to bring the mother back into where I need her to be. But I hope, I really hope a day comes in this world where a woman never asks this question, should I choose between career or mother? It should be understood that the whole community, society, husband, joint family, parents will support the woman so much, love her so much. You know, now there are countries across the world that are paying women to have babies. So countries have already started to do it. China and New Zealand and all you will hear of so many benefits. Free hospital for the rest of your life, free education, free this, free that. Now they are realizing overpopulation used to be a problem 10 years ago. Now we've moved into declining population. So this is going to happen, that a time is going to come where the woman is going to, in the next 10 years, my promise to every single one of you, we are going to be the last generation to ask this question, after which women are going to be coaxed into having a baby because of how she's going to be treated. And we need to bring that back if you want the woman, because I don't want any woman to have a baby and then feel lesser. That is just a blasphemous thing. The Khushbu, relatives who are judgmental, they come and judge. Well, I know what to do, but some really intentionally want to poke their nose in our life, it's such another way. Khushbu, you know what? Apart from sympathy, these kind of relatives should get nothing else from you. Because those people whose only life succeeds or is of any value is when they are in judgment, when they think that coming to other people and poking their nose and being interfering, and that's the only work they have, or that's the only way they know how to operate. You can imagine how sad a soul that must be inside. Because you know what? To judge, you have to fall in frequency. You cannot judge without falling in frequency. So people who are highly judgmental are very low in frequency. The lower you are in frequency, the sadder you are as a human being. So while these people may appear to, you know how they say when you have a superiority complex, if you see someone with a superiority complex, it's actually an inferiority complex that they are covering. The same is with these judgmental people. Actually, they are unhappy for who they are as people, and now they are projecting that onto others. So instead of feeling upset or angry or hurt with such people, my suggestion to you would be sympathy, empathy, compassion. Start to really just feel bad for these people, that you know what a shallow life they are living. If their life's biggest problem is that I wore magenta color that they don't like, or I wore black on Diwali and they were upset with that, or people today can get upset on things that there is nothing to. Yesterday or day before on my Instagram I put ready to play, and I had so many people messaging me, Puja, you shouldn't promote gambling. And in my head, I'm thinking, oh my God, you know, it's a part of my culture. We believe that Lakshmi comes to the houses that where you stay awake. And one of the ways of staying awake used to be of playing cards. It was not so much about gambling as it was about staying awake. So you built in a game into the whole thing. So once somebody understands that the culture doesn't come from promoting or promotion of gambling, but the culture comes from the idea or the concept of doing something together as a family to stay awake, so that goddess Lakshmi, when she knocks on your door, your house is not, lights are all off and you've gone off to sleep on Diwali day, but you've actually stayed awake to welcome her into a house that looks gorgeously lit up and people are cheerful and happy and spending time with one another. So once you understand the base concepts of things, then it doesn't feel like gambling or anything like that, because if you're doing it once or twice a year, you have nothing to worry. It's only anything that turns into an addiction that turns wrong. Of course, if you're gambling every day, that's not something I'm ever going to promote, hai na? Hi ma'am, is it right to follow astrology or work hard to fight destiny? I'm at the crossroads. Destiny looks more realistic, but my heart breaks to accept that. Ritu, we co-author life with Godji. What do I mean by that? There are decisions you will make to which God will give you consequences. Those consequences will make you make new decisions. So you're constantly, what you're doing is you're co-authoring your life with God. So there is a work hard aspect to life and there is a destiny aspect to life, and both in combination is what makes your life. People who say only destiny don't understand the role they play, and people who say only hard work don't understand the role universe plays. When you start to understand that there is universe and you as a combination. I remember Mahatma used to give this lovely example where he would say the farmer has to sow the seed, God has to grow the seed. Neither can farmer grow the seed, nor God is going to come to do your work to sow the seed. So there is a combination. When you pray for cake, remember, God is going to send you sugar, flour, oven, microwave, whatever baking dish. He's going to send you all of that. You don't put in the hard work to put it together to bake a cake. You'll keep saying, God, I asked you cake, you're sending maida. I'm asking you for cake, you're sending butter. God, what is wrong with you? Why aren't you understanding what I'm asking you for? God is going to just look back and say, why aren't you understanding, Mirijan, what I am sending you? So sometimes in life, Ritu, I believe that we have to start to look at astrology also. एक पता कर लो भाई अच्छा time है कि नहीं है, क्या चल रहा है. It's good to know to flow with the tide. I always say if you're going to jump into water, why not use the currents ka energy to float in the direction that you want to flow? Why do you want to flow against the current? Right? But some people give up their life to astrology, where it will be like, नहीं अब तो पंडित जी ने कह दिया मतलब ये शादी तो नहीं चलेगी. अरे I always say this, that God has given us the power to choose, and therefore He has given us enough power to overthrow anything that anybody else predicts for you. So let a Pandit ji make a bad prediction for me and my job becomes, अब मैं दिखाती हूँ इस पंडित जी को क्या मैं कर सकती हूँ. So never, if you're operating in your destiny out of fear, I have a huge problem with that, okay? God has made a cow who can feed a family of 4. We too are intelligent human beings. There's nothing we can't overturn in our destiny. So if there's any sort of astrology or destiny that you're being told to accept, please know that you have the full power to be able to use your cards in the bestest of your abilities. You know, when I got married at 18 and I didn't want to be married at 18, now I didn't know what to do with this. मेरे किसी योग में लिखा होगा ना कि मेरी शादी होनी है 18 पे. So I'm thinking, okay, now how to get out of this whole setup that I've got myself into. I was so ambitious. I wanted to go abroad and study. I wanted to be educated. My whole life was a mess for a couple of years. But then I started to say, okay, Puja, now the cards dealt to you is that this man who's a good man has come 5 years before you wanted him. In 5 years, you want exactly what you've gotten, but he's come 5 years too early. अब क्या करेगी तू? Okay, and I started to deal with that, and I said, okay, what can I do? What would have I liked to have done if he was not around? Okay, I would have liked to have studied. I would have liked to, and I went and did all of those things, how much ever effort it took. And today I can say the best thing that happened to me was being married at 18, because that thirst for knowledge wouldn't have been so, you know, I wouldn't have been so hungry if I had been fed a college degree. Because I didn't have a college degree, because I had low self-esteem because of that, because I felt lesser than everyone else, I went chasing in wisdom, right? So I want you to know, Ritu, that, you know, the consequences God is putting in your life right now are lessons. All your challenges are lessons, and if you use your cards right, you can make the most beautiful destiny. If you sit and accept and say, अब तो हो गया जो हो गया, अब मैं इसका क्या कर सकती हूँ, then that will become your destiny. But we are so powerful, we have no idea. And once you start to put in that work hard, this thing, I've also seen that your stars start to align to, you know, कई लोग कहते हैं ना कि जैसे उसके हाथ में गोल्डन टच है या मिडास टच है, ऐसे ऐसे बोलते हैं ना हम, वो क्यों है? Because somebody knows how to respond to the things God is throwing at them. When we don't let our energy fall, when God throws things at us which are not to our liking, then God starts to work for us rather than against us. Sushma, but how to celebrate when you've lost your most loved one? Now, Sushma, I don't know what you're talking about in regard to, is it to death or is it to cheating or is it to someone leaving you? So I'm not going to be able to answer that question clearly. However, I want you to know this. I don't know if every single person right now needs to celebrate. But you know what? It is your duty to be happy. And we have 1,000 reasons right now to be unhappy. And our brain is giving us, our intelligence we are using against us only. You know, but उसने ऐसे कह दिया, but उसने ऐसे हो गया, but वो छोड़ के चले गया, but वो ये, but वो. So अगर your mind is your devil, then learning to get a control over it and becoming someone who can love and celebrate and be happy is very, very important. Now, if you recently lost someone and you are in some form of grieving period, of course, I want you to give yourself the time for the wound to become a scar before you even try anything, right? So if currently you're sitting with a wound, with something has happened recently that was very drastic, please, whether Diwali or no Diwali, give yourselves a time, but set a deadline for yourself and say, you know what, till this day I will grieve, till this day I will be sad, and after that I'm going to start to work on myself to be better, because our mind though will love us to become victims. The favorite job of the mind is to make us hai bichari mein. So you want to be so careful of this bichari mein epidemic that we are currently suffering from, because it's so easy to get in there and the world loves nurturing it. हाय इसके साथ तो इतना बुरा हो गया ये. Sympathy is one of the worst things to live it. Please give it to your enemies in ample so that you never have to give it to yourself or receive it from anyone. S. Khan 33,000. I am caged in my thoughts. I fear being cheated again. I cannot trust. I'm stuck. Please help. S. Khan, you are so right. A lot of people who've been cheated, what happens with cheating is that when your trust gets broken, there is that trauma that comes and sits inside of you, like a huge amount of, what would I say, pain and fear. Both get set in your, so when you say you're stuck, you literally are stuck, and your body keeps reminding you to not trust again because it doesn't want you to go through that level of trauma ever again. So learning to heal yourself through the process of, you know, taking those small risks and allowing the people who broke your trust to either start to build your trust again, or finding new people who are trustworthy and letting, what I always say, apology accepted, trust denied. Some people don't deserve your trust. You can forgive them and move on and say, sorry, I'm not going to ever put myself in this position ever again. So one of the things I think what you need to do is please come for my program called Awakening. Let me take you through the 4 weeks of at least shaking up this fear and pain that has gotten stuck in your body, so that you can restart to look at your emotional well-being in a different manner. So if you know, one 10-minute conversation is not going to help you trust the world again, especially if you've been cheated on. So I do believe that, you know what, sometimes I need a little longer conversation. Just give me 1 month of your life and allow me to help you get that sorted. Okay. Next, when are you going to do enlightenment course? I will join. March is the next batch. What about the coaching certification course? There is one that is starting right after Diwali. So coaching certification starts on 16th of November and enlightenment starts on 14th of November. So if you have already enrolled for it, congratulations. These are going to be crazy cute batches. We rarely ever do one through November, December, January. This is going to be our first time ever. You know, I just didn't want to wait I didn't want all of these people who've enrolled to wait till March. So for the first time ever, I'm doing this in November, December, January, and I'm super excited about the batches. All right, I know I had said I'm going to do just a 30 minutes quick live because I actually have a lunch at home, but I am going to have to run very quickly. So let me go right to the bottom. Tell me in the chat box, which was the question of the day, or what was your biggest learning? How to join your awakening program? All you need to do is call up Gunjan at 7823988142. 7823988142, and she will take you through the process of how to come for my masterclass so that you can join. Rosh Divine, can we meet you, ma'am? Of course, please do. So anybody who lands up joining enlightenment or coaching certification or my level 3 programs then comes into my inner circle, and we have a lot of events for our inner circle. Especially next year, we have some fabulous things planned. So if you're not a part of my inner circle, I'm going to encourage every one of you. It's time to go deeper. Let 2024 be your best year yet. If you are at my awakening or coaching mastery level, that's also fine. We will be launching Sisterverse from January. If you are at my level 3, which is enlightenment and coaching certification, so happy to have you, darling. We are going to be launching a few festivals that we are planning. I'll talk more about it next year, but things are in the pipeline, and I'm so excited about this tribe of fabulous, I call it my army of women that I'm creating for the right perspective, because you, like they say, you know, you change a woman, you change a family. And so I feel like we need to get so many of our thought processes right so that the woman becomes the leader of the house. Let the man go and earn if he needs to. Let the woman become the thought leader, so that the happiness can be put in priority over just money. Right now, the world has become an economic chaser, and the beauty of a woman is she does not chase, she attracts. And so if you're someone who wants to go deeper into learning how to be a woman who can attract, then awakening and enlightenment are simply fabulous. Just call up Gunjan. Okay, this is not a sales pitch at all, but I'm so convinced that there is so much that a woman can learn through these programs that I just tend to speak a lot more about them. Please throw some light on decluttering. It's making me go crazy right now because I just can't outsource it. Please help. So my suggestion to you would be keep a carton anywhere close to your cupboard, and every time you find something, don't simply try to throw it away right away. I believe that sometimes a step to to a step 3, a gradual throw is much easier. So what I tend to do is all my most important clothes are on my hanger in my cupboard. And as and when I start to feel I'm not so much in love with this particular garment, I fold it and keep it in one of these shelves that I have. And then if for 6 months or 1 year I have not touched it from the shelf, that means I did not take it out, open it and wear it, then it's time for it to go into the carton. And every month I have a carton that goes for charity. Okay, so earlier on it used to be about distributing it to friends and family. Now I feel like I struggle with that because a lot of friends and family doesn't live here, they live in Delhi, this, that. So otherwise I just make a carton for my mommy or for my cousin sister or for someone, and I just courier it if I know that this is something they will love. But now I've become more about कि अब मेरी cupboard से निकालो इसको, नहीं तो मैं चिपक जाऊंगी इससे. So see, look at if any of this works for you. I love Marie Kondo's sentence, does this give me joy? And so I feel like if you can connect with that whole thought process of, does this still give me joy? Do I want it? Does it make me happy? And then you can see what you want to keep and what I'm superb at throwing things away. My mother says I do it too fast sometimes, but I'm a big believer of being completely disconnected with all of this stuff. So stuff is not something that I keep a flow of things coming in. जहाँ से ये आया था वहां से और आएगा. I'm not a believer of keeping things कि ये मैं किसी दिन पहनूंगी जब मैं weight lose करूंगी. जब मैं weight lose करूंगी मैं अपनी cupboard बदल के एकदम नई कर दूंगी. So that's I have a lot of abundance mindset, and I believe that any form of hoarding is a scarcity mindset personality, and you want to move into abundance mindset where you're going on telling the universe that you are ready to receive and deserve the best in life. And what you used to wear a year or two ago, your standards every year should be going up. You should be looking for newer stuff, better stuff, things have energy, and when something has been lying in the same place for a year or two or not been touched, that is dead energy. And you put that dead energy on your body, you are actually literally just sucking your own frequency out. So I'm going to tell everyone, look at things and go, what energy does this feel? There are colors that have liveness, there are things that are alive, and you want to associate with the more alive you are, the more enthusiastic about life you are, the more you will tend to choose brighter colors, happier things that make you feel beautiful. So become more connected to the energy behind materialistic things, and you'll start to see a new dimension opening up, and start to look at, what if this was a person, would this be a happy person? When you're looking at an outfit or something, and things that don't feel happy, things that have got torn, things that that's not working, and you're saying कभी सिलवा के ठीक करवा के पहनूंगी, वो तो सबसे पहले जाना चाहिए. टूटी हुई चीजें, उन सब की एनर्जी एकदम डेड होती है. Okay, so I'm just trying my level best to help you get rid of some stuff, but you know what, I think our being too attached to clutter is just our being too attached to uncertainty of life. And when we start to look at life as, oh, what if tomorrow I need this, what if negative will make you hoard, what if positive will make you give away. So build the giveaway personality so that you can open up your abundance portals. I hope convinced हो गए. I am going to run, मैं इतनी late हूँ, मुझे जाना पड़ेगा, but I love you all so much. Thank you so much for coming for the Diwali special. A super duper happy Diwali. I love you all so much, and may God bless you. And remember, choose happiness. You will find 100 reasons to be unhappy the next 1 week because so many things keep happening. But there are two kinds of people: the unhappy who find something to be unhappy in the best of situations, and then there are the happy who find something to be happy in the worst of situations. You want to develop and train yourself to become a person who knows how to be happy even in situations that that normally another human being instead of you would have been extremely unhappy, but somehow you are able to see things that nobody else is able to. Use your intelligence to make yourself and keep yourself happy rather than using your intelligence in judging others. है ना? Alright, on that note, I love you all so much. Lot is going to happen next year. I'm going to still keep seeing you. There's lots and lots of things planned. So let's make 2024 your best year yet. Happy Diwali, everyone. Thank you for coming.